What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cold Convos. Got my notebook. Let's get into it.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm in control. I'm in my mode. I'm in my zone. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm in control. I'm in my mode. I'm in my zone.
So, over this past weekend, I got to watch two movies, and I thoroughly enjoyed both. One is Oppenheimer, and the other is They Cloned Tyrone. And we're going to be covering They Cloned Tyrone first, but you should probably watch these together. I don't want to spoil anything because it's very easy to spoil this movie, and I think you should watch it and get the full experience. So I'm just going to talk about 5 things that I loved from They Cloned Tyrone. First, the cinematography. This movie is shot beautifully. It looks like it's shot on film. I don't know if it was digital and just made to look grainy, but the grain makes it feel lived in and makes it reminds you of kind of blaxploitation films, but also with a lot of new age stuff. Their use of colors, the way that the people looked. I mean, it was a beautifully shot movie, and I'm glad that the black movie also looked good while paying homage to blaxploitation films. Number 2, it's an original story. It is not a comic book sequel. It is not based off of a toy. It is not a reboot. It is not a remake. It is an original story. And I love those movies. I'm a huge Marvel fan, a huge comic book fan. I like remakes when they're done well. All of them are not done well, but the fact that we got some original IP is just very exciting, especially in a time where you just don't get it and studios are just not taking the risk. So go buy it, go watch it. And even if you gotta watch it and you walk away and you letting it play, this type of movie needs to be supported so they can continue to make more of them. Studios don't take these type of risks because they don't feel like they get their money back. But I love the originality of it. And just from my notes, I wrote down, it is a black sci-fi comedy satire that also feels like a blaxploitation film in a lot of different ways, and it's beautiful. It has some really dope writing in it. It has a message underneath that's not preachy, and its use of comedy with some very serious themes, I think, is to be applauded. Which leads me to number 3. You can have the best writing and best story, but you need actors to execute it. And our 3 stars are stars. You know, they did such a great job, and you know, and also just happy to see Jamie Foxx and saw that he's doing better and got to actually hear from him, which is really good. He did an incredible job. I mean, the sister did an amazing job, regardless of what Tiana and Jamie did, and they were both incredible. John Boyega carried the movie the way that I think the studio was expecting him to. So happy that he got to lead this vehicle because, especially when you're going up with a Tiana and a Jamie, those are hard acts to follow, and he did it masterfully. I really thought his charisma was incredible. Number 4, the sound and the soundtrack are both dope. There's just the score of it, the way that it is sounding, like it pounds. Like if you are a place with that has good speakers, it pounds, and you hear it. And the soundtrack is just really good. I mean, the way they bring you in and out of moments, it is to be praised, to be completely honest. And whoever did this had a strong understanding of culture and kind of the way black people like to watch movies, especially if they're in a theater setting or in a setting that has really good speakers. And it was really intuitive, I think is a good term. And not to say other movies don't do this, but I feel like I can tell when a movie is culturally sound mixed for my culture versus when it's not. And that's not like a bad thing or anything like that. This one just felt like somebody was gift wrapping it to you, and it was a beautiful feeling. And then finally, number 5, replayability. This is not a movie I'll just watch once. This is not a movie that you kind of watch and tuck away. This is one of those movies that if you are a kid watching this movie, you will probably know these lines later on into adulthood. It is one of those movies that has, you know, even things in there like certain singy dance moments. I don't want to spoil anything. Don't skip out on this. I would say go watch it if you have Netflix or you got a friend that has Netflix. Go watch it. And I watched it alone. I actually think watching this with a group of people might be great. Like I feel like this would have been really fun to watch in a theater. So those are my 5 things that I loved about They Cloned Tyrone. I would say this, stick with it. If the beginning of it is tough for you, stick with it. It is set up for a reason. I don't want to say anything else, but I did see on Twitter that some people were turning it off pretty early on because they felt offended or it was going in a certain direction. That would be a mistake to turn it off. Stick with it. All right. See y'all in the next one.